So they told her that she'll never walk. Yeah, and I tell you, it was pretty devastating news. So I'll explain all that in just a minute. As you know, I got a gift from my father the other day. He gave me a 22 Marlin semi-automatic rifle. And boy, I sure do like it. I mean, I like it a lot. And I demonstrated a little bit about it the other day, and I'll put an up next box at the end of this video to that video so you can check it out. The video did surprisingly well, according to YouTube. YouTube says if it has a good click-through rate and a good watch time, that it does well. Although it didn't get a lot of views, people who did see the thumbnail did click the video and they watched a lot of it. So YouTube was pretty happy about it, but they didn't promote it any more than they normally do. So I showed you the gun. The problem was, as you know, I kind of went into more detail about my eye. Oh, a couple years ago, I started losing the sight in my right eye, and I think it was because of the doctors. The doctors gave me some steroids to give it a rash that I had from mold poisoning. Instead of determining what it was I had, they just gave me the steroids, and I think caused cataracts in my eye. I don't know this for sure. I still got to go to the eye doctor, and that's just what doctors love to do. Give you something, so you got to come back to the doctor. Well, I am trying to treat it myself. I don't know if it's working. And one of my subscribers actually confirmed one of the things that we've been doing does work. We've been putting castor oil in my eye. I forget to do it most nights, but that's supposed to help also. But I got these eye drops and these vitamins I've been using. It's not getting any worse. I showed you that I could shoot this thing pretty well in semi-automatic mode using my right shoulder and my left eye. Now, when I shoot my handgun with my left eye, I had to adjust the sights significantly because it was shooting to the left. Shooting with my left eye, I was having to compensate a little bit. But if I really want to nail down a target, I was having to shoot with my left side. And I'm just not, it doesn't feel natural to me. I'm sure it doesn't feel natural to anybody. So left side, left eye. Now I've gotten pretty good by shutting my right eye. Probably more than I need to. It's kind of scary, I would imagine, in the store when I'm flirting with the cash register. At least that's what she thinks I'm doing. But what it really is I'm trying to judge the distance to the ATM card reader, because my depth perception is off a bit. So I was shooting with my left side, and I've been practicing and practicing and practicing. And I'm pretty good at it. I'm not missing the target, but it slows me down, my reaction time. So imagine that there is something attacking the chickens, and I got to sit there and adjust and try to get situated so I can get a good shot with my left eye, my left side. The darn thing may have already eaten 3 chickens by that time, so I need to react a little bit more quickly. Last time we had a predator here, we've had 2 predators. We had a fox and a bobcat, and I was able to get them with the pellet gun, both of them, and they both ran off, never seen them again. I tried to shoot them in the butt or something so they'll run off and know that that's not the place they want to be. I got the pellet gun out the other day. When my eye started going bad, I shot some sort of wild animal that was messing with the chickens, and I was able to use my right eye with the scope. And it didn't even occur to me that's what I had done. So the other day I thought, you know, I'm going to get that scope back out, because in the video I told you I could use that scope. So I got the scope back out with the pellet gun. I couldn't see through it. I mean, there was just nothing to see. I had to shift my left eye. So I was doing this, trying to do it with my right shoulder. I could do it, but again, very uncomfortable. So there was this YouTuber that I've been watching for a very long time. He's got 2 channels. And on the second channel, he talks about firearms and how to do things and just a lot of firearm talk. And he was talking about getting a red dot optic. I asked him and he replied back. I millions of subscribers, and he replied back to me. And I said, what do you think about a laser? Because my right eye, there's just nothing I can do. And he says, no, I still think you need to use the optic. Well, it just doesn't make sense. I can't see. So I would still be doing my left eye, and it would slow me down. So I disagreed with him. I mean, not publicly, I just mentally disagreed with him. And I decided to get myself a laser for the 22. It has made all the difference in the world. Now, I don't sell things on YouTube. It's just not what I do. But I did get it off Amazon. It's a real cheap one, $26 or so. The reviews were good, really good on it. So I bought it. I got a green dot, and I'm gonna show you it here in a minute. Now, the thing is Carolyn's son, we had to take him to the city. So I wasn't sure that we were even going to get it today. UPS is kind of finicky about that. But it turned out I got here about 10 minutes before they did. Got back home. So we got it. So I tore it open real quick and thought, well, this is the video I'm going to make. And so I started to attach it. Well, I guess the 22 and the pellet gun both have a thinner scope rail than regular rifles. I guess. I'm just, because it didn't fit my 22 or the pellet gun. So the laser is supposed to slide through there, and then of course on the bottom there it attaches to the rail. Well, the 22 has a rail. It just, this is way too wide for it. So unfortunately I had to take the scope off the pellet gun so I could use the brackets for the laser. Not something I really wanted to do. So if you get railings, this is actually two railings and they're stuck real close together. There are two brackets, one for the front of the scope, one for the back of the scope, and it just wraps around there. Now this, you can adjust the sights, the laser, and it's just a turn button. It's really cool for the top and the bottom. What I noticed though is if I tried to sight it up with the tip of the gun and kind of put it right above the tip, it was easier to sight in. Now, the way I try to sight in a laser is I get real close to my target. So you'll see that I'm pretty close to my target. And I'll shoot 3 shots. Boom, boom, boom. Then I can adjust the sights a little bit. And the reason you do it up close is because if you get real far away and you try to shoot it and you miss, you don't know which direction you miss. You don't know if you went high, low, left, or right. Unless you can happen to see a puff of smoke, you'll be chasing this thing all day. But if you get up close, you should be able to hit the target. And then so you hit 3 targets and you know where it's at and you kind of sight it in, and then you scoot back 5 yards, 10 yards. And you do it again, boom, 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 and then you adjust it again. And scoot back 5, 10 yards. Do it again, boom, 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 adjust it again. Because the closer you are, the less separation it has. Because real close, you might be off by an inch. But if you go back 100 yards, that same inch may turn into a foot. So I sighted it in for 30 yards. And the reason I did 30 yards is that's the distance from the house to the chicken coop. That way if there's a predator down there, I can just jump out on the back porch and shoot it with this laser. Now I got a green laser dot. And the reason I got green is because you can see green better during the day. Now, there was a video on there and some guy tried the laser at 600 yards. I don't know if you can actually see that dot on the camera, but it's right in the center there, the coffee can. He showed it at nighttime and it went to 600 yards. At 30 yards, I was able to easily see this. The problem is trying to acquire being able to see the green dot, because if you take it off the target, it's, where is it? So what I did to start learning how to adjust for it is I put it down on the ground right in front of me, and I chased it until I could see the, because I can see it on the ground right in front of me, and then you just chase it right up. That way you can quickly get your target. Now, it does have a remote control switch where all you got to do is just push and hold this. There's no way you're going to be able to hear it, but there's a little clicky button in there. And so all you got to do is screw this end cap off and put this end cap on, and then it comes with Velcro and you attach it to your rifle. I found that I didn't like that. When I was very young, 10, 11 years old, my grandpa taught me to relax. When you're shooting a gun, relax. All your muscles. Breathe, relax. And then just squeeze the trigger. So what I noticed is I wasn't squeezing the trigger because I was trying so hard to put pressure on that switch. So I decided that I just wanted to have a little push button switch on the back of here. And that works all right. So I'm going to try to hit this target. I'm pretty close to the target, so it's going to be, it may not be as accurate because remember I sighted this up at 30 yards, so we'll have to see how it does. So it shot a little low. So yeah, it's about, an inch and a half The green dot's a little 1.5 inches too high at this yardage. Oh, well, what am I? I'm not even a yard away, maybe 3 or 4 feet. But see, that's the neat thing, is it's right on, because there's 2 holes right next to each other. There's 3 holes right next to each other. Boom, boom, boom. Now, if I was trying to adjust this, I would just go ahead and adjust it up. In my videos, I talk a lot about people who say they can't do things. I got a disability, I can't do that, I can't do this. And here I just proved that I can still shoot a rifle even though I've got a bad eye. I didn't say I can't do it. I didn't give up. I kept trying to find a solution. The solution came pretty quickly, but I did try to find one, and I found one, and it's going to work for me. I really think this is going to work. And if it doesn't work, I won't say, oh, that didn't work, and just quit. I will continue to look for solutions. I had a sister. She died when I was 18. She was 17. I was born October 26. And she was born a year later, November 26. She was born with osteogenesis imperfecta. She broke bones very easily. I told you a story before. I broke her bones twice. I was playing tug of war with her one time with a straw. I threw a little pillow at her, just a little couch pillow. Broke her arm both times. She never walked. So the doctor said when she was born she wouldn't live, 2 or 3 years. That'd be it. Well, of course she lived 17 years. And she died in a car accident. It's not like she died from breaking a bone. I mean, I guess she broke a bone in the car accident, but it was a car accident. A lot of people died in a car accident. The 2 people in the other car died. She died. The only person to live was the driver that she was with. My sister never said she couldn't. And my dad would never allow her to say, I can't. She never was allowed to let that disability to get in her way. We did all kinds of things to the other. Dad put her on the top of her neck, just like the dad did in Scrooge, carrying, what's his name, little kid. Same thing. The first time she tried to walk, she stood up and broke her leg. And so for the longest time in life, she never walked. Doctor said she'll never walk. Well, of course, she was only going to live 3 years old, so yeah, she's never going to walk. Well, she got to up 17 years old, and she walked on stage for a play that she did. It was amazing. She always was forced to do things. Never let her disability get in her way. I remember Mom. I don't know all the details about it, but I know Mom fought and fought and fought to get her into public school. Public school didn't want her back in the 70s. They weren't going to do it. And then we got her in school, and then Mom fought and fought and fought and fought to get her on the school bus. They had to get her a special seat belt so she could ride the bus behind the bus driver. I mean, I guess I understand the problem. She broke bones so easy. If another kid would have sat down on her or whatever. It was a car accident that killed her anyway, so if a bus got into an accident, it was likely kids were going to die, just like just what always happens. So I do get frustrated when I hear people say they can't do something. They literally let their disability dictate their lives. They just will not get past it. Carolyn has social anxiety. Yet she always had a job her entire life. Until we started traveling, she had a job her entire life. She's going to be able to collect full Social Security. Her back has been messed up. And she just doesn't let things get in her way. She continues to push and push and push until she gets what she wants. So I'm encouraging everybody, don't let your disabilities get in your way. Don't let your pains and your aches and all that get in your way. But the thing is even though I'm making this video, somebody will say, oh, I can't do that because I got a disability. Can't live off grid because I got a disability. Just the other day, I said I cured my hypoglycemic. That was hyperglycemia with meat. I said it in a video. I've not had another episode of hyperglycemia since I started a carnivorous diet. I said I used to have to keep peanut butter around, but I don't have peanut butter anymore. That's carbohydrates. Somebody literally said in the comment section, I have a hypoglycemia. I just keep a Slim Jim around on me at all times. Why don't you try what I said? Eat meat. Get off the carbohydrates. They don't want to. They like the disability. I really think that people enjoy their disability so they can say, I can't, and then they never have to do. And it's always somebody else's fault for not helping. I used to have this woman all the time in the comment section yell and scream at me. I can't get anybody to help me do what you're doing. And that's all she would ever say. She never realized, no one helped me. So if you click this up next box, take that video I was talking about the 22. So I hope I can inspire you to stop saying I can't, so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.